to double digits. We talked about having to work for every bucket, Chris, at the offensive end if you're Orlando. They've been outscored 40-2 on fast break points in the last couple of games. As Davis is fouled, he'll go to the line. And Baby's been putting in a lot of minutes too. He was telling us prior to the game, spent 6 hours yesterday, Glenn Davis did, in a hyperbaric chamber. Now, if they had those oxygen chambers around when you were playing, you might still be balling, right?
No, it's going to take a little bit more than that. Come on now.
I was giving you the benefit of the doubt.
No. But I'll tell you what, I'd say it's a pretty tight squeeze in that hyperbaric chamber for the big baby. But he's trying to do everything to maintain his conditioning and get the soreness out. And he's tremendous. He is. When he plays without Dwight Howard, he's a consistent 18-point, 10-rebound guy.
That's the vision that he had when he initially signed with Orlando. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Right now, Indiana with a 9-point lead as we approach the midway point of the first half. Granger looking inside to Hibbert. 3 on the shot clock. And Davis fouls David West with a second to go on the shot clock. Much to the disbelief of Davis.
The Indiana Pacers, time and time again, it's really the same play. It gives the defense so much time to prepare, and in the playoff series, to be able to take that away. And what do you go to next? Not many options for Stan Van Gundy.
Vogel remarking after game 2 that the Magic had run almost 100 different pick and rolls in the game, and that's going to be a traveling violation against Hibbert.
And what the Pacers have decided to do is play the pick and roll with 2 people, stay home with the 3-point shooters, and make Jameer Nelson try and finish over Roy Hibbert or David West, and they'll live with that tough shot. Good strategy by Frank Vogel.
Indiana, the top defensive team going into the weekend in these playoff games in points per 100 possessions. Nelson fires away and rebounded by Hibbert.
So all these things we're seeing from the Orlando Magic, it's nice when you have an inside-out attack. Now with the inside attack being Dwight Howard, sidelined with back surgery, you really just a perimeter-oriented, attacking off the dribble team offensively.
Granger on the drive. Rebound by Nelson. Turkoglu and Hedo with the sweet left-handed layup.
But they won't give up. They'll play hard. And now we're in a 7-point game.
Magic trying to even this series at 2 games apiece, and that's going to be an offensive foul against Danny Granger.
Here's Jameer once again off the dribble. A little trailing Hedo Turkoglu. Roy Hibbert stuck at the free throw line. Easy layup for Hedo Turkoglu.
And Gundy makes the call. Orlando making its 6th consecutive playoff series appearance. Anderson underneath in traffic, and he draws the foul. Ryan Anderson getting his shot off in a different fashion that time. The foul on Hibbert.
Well, that time he set the pick, ran to the baseline, and was a motion. It was a nice play designed by Stan Van Gundy. A little wrinkle.
Anderson, the winner of this year's Most Improved Player Award, edging out Ersan Ilyasova of the Milwaukee Bucks, who also had a good year.
You know, sometimes when you're a shooter like Ryan Anderson, if you're struggling, one of the good things to do is just go around and start picking people. You know, get the guy to show off for you to free yourself up. Become a picker, play off the ball, play away from the basketball. That time he did that. In motion, got to work himself to the free throw line.
They cut the lead to 5. David West and Ryan Anderson really bumping down low. West with the fadeaway, got it. David West, the veteran acquired as a free agent, really perhaps the missing ingredient for this Pacer team, responding in a big way here in the playoffs. Davis with a nice show and go. Richardson tapped back out by Anderson. Another look now for Orlando. Boy, Jason Richardson looking for the post-up on George Hill. A little bit shorter than him. 9 on the shot clock. Anderson goes with it. And Hibbert made him change the shot. And he gets the steal. They got numbers here. Richardson. And he's fouled by Hill. And Hill's unhappy about it. Second foul on him.
Number 3, George Hill. His first penalty situation in the match.
It's the first foul on George Hill.
Good awareness there by Ryan Anderson in transition. Kept his eye on the ball. Picked off that pass. Got Jason Richardson to the free throw line.
You know, back to Ryan Anderson and Chris, you played this kind of a shooter's role at time. You talk about doing other things and screening to get open. But, you know, there's an old saying. My dad always said, people born square don't die round. I mean, is it too much at this point for Anderson to change up his flow that much in his game?
I don't think so. I think, you know, if not just in this series, I think moving forward in his career now, he went from somewhat of an unknown player. Now he's the most improved player. People are going to start focusing on him. It's going to be imperative that he adds that to his game. You can't just become a standstill shooter. They'll take that away. You have to have other options to go to.
Right now defending David West. West with the step through. Hibbert with the rebound. And cleared by Glenn Davis. And those cut the lead down to 5. Turkoglu guarded by West. And he knocks down the 3, and it's a 2-point game. Through the mask. Hibbert posting up on Davis. Hibbert. They'll go to the line for a pair. Let's listen in to Frank Vogel during that last break.
We're on the road in the playoffs. Teams are going to make runs. We will answer because we're the better team.
Staying positive, staying calm. As Roy Hibbert's at the free throw line. Mark, you mentioned that the Orlando Magic got into the penalty with 9:37 left in the quarter. They've capitalized 12 of 14 from the free throw line for the Magic this quarter. The Pacers now just 3 of 5. So they got into the bonus early, capitalized, and got themselves back in this game.
And down by just 3 right now. Hibbert at the foul line knocks down a pair. The first-time All-Star having a good season, averaging a double-double here in the postseason. Those 9 blocked shots, a franchise record in Game 1. Granger guarding Turkoglu. Another Magic pick and roll as Daniel Orton out of Kentucky is checked into the game. Richardson knocks down the jumper. And once again, it's a 2-point contest. This has been a very resilient Orlando team. They have been through a lot, both on and off the court during the course of the season. Right now, a chance to tie it up or take the lead on a 3. Richardson for the tie.
Nice shot by Jason Richardson, but give Daniel Orton credit. The big body freed him up with a nice little pick. Just trying to give Stan Van Gundy some minutes so he can rest some of his starters. It is important to finish out this half, though. Tie game now. Finish up strong into the locker room.
Gundy getting an explanation from Mike Callahan on that last foul as Roy Hibbert goes back to the free throw line. Been a lot of talk about, you know, Dwight Howard going down with the back surgery and a shortage of bigs down in the USA basketball pool. And there was a thought that Roy Hibbert might be one of those invited to fill in and maybe get a spot on that roster for the upcoming Olympic Games. But because Roy Hibbert played for Jamaica, the Jamaican national team a couple summers ago, he told me prior to the game that he won't be allowed to play for USA basketball.
He would be an interesting choice. And like I said, not just his scoring and rebounding, his passing ability. The international game a little bit different than the NBA game.
Richardson with the jump shot and rebounded by the aforementioned Roy Hibbert. And Hibbert is a legit 7'2".
You mentioned his conditioning work. Nice versatility there on the slide.
West kicks it out to Hill for three. And Pacers using their length to get another tip out. This time a better block out. And Clark with the rebound.
That was a quick shot by Danny Granger.
Didn't like it?
No. I think they get the possession. Work that possession a little bit more now. A little quick for me.
There's Richardson now. Under a minute to go in the first half. Raising up for the three. And that's going to be a foul against Daniel Orton. His second personal foul already since checking into the game. Well, there's not a lot of bigs on the bench left there for Stan Van Gundy. Folks, coming up to half, it's the Toyota halftime show. Guys in the studio will break down the first half of play here and a preview of the Grizzlies and Clippers coming up next. And many people still getting over that Game 1 comeback by the Clippers. And it was interesting to see the way that Memphis was able to shake that hangover and take Game 2 in Memphis.
They had to win Game 2. The only way you get over that is by winning the next game. And that was a must-win for Memphis Grizzlies. It's going to be a very interesting series to see how this thing shakes out. Now they're moving on to L.A.
And what about Caron Butler out now with a broken hand?
That hurts a lot. That's a big loss for the Clippers. But they've responded. I think Vinny Delmego's done a real nice job. I think their expectations got a little out of hand early. They're still a growing team. But, what Chris Paul has done to that franchise is miraculous. All of a sudden, you're hearing respect and credibility associated with the LA Clippers. That in itself.
In a while since they've had a playoff game out there for the Clippers. Don't forget that one coming up a little bit later on ESPN. 4-point ball game, under a minute to go. Hill guarding Turkoglu here. Hill with dogged defense out front. Orton inside, and he's fouled by David West. One of the few times, Chris, that we didn't see a pick and roll and potentially get points out of it here for the Magic.
This is where they made their hay in the second quarter. Is at the free throw line. And Daniel Orton back at the free throw line for two.
You see David West down there on the block for Indiana. He was courted eagerly by the Boston Celtics as a free agent during the offseason. He bypassed Boston and signed with Indiana. Celtic fans have since let him hear about it, but he has been a great addition here. And they told him that at times he'd have to play center. He said, I don't have a problem with it. And that's a little bit out of position. How uncharacteristic is that, Chris?
Well, he's a true pro, a leader. I think the perfect addition by Larry Bird, the GM in Indiana. Dave West was the perfect fit, the perfect guy for this team at the right time.
And on the shot clock, there's Hansbrough. Tipped up, but it goes right to Turkoglu, and they have an opportunity here to tie the game or take the lead on a three. A quick shot by Turkoglu. Rebounded by West, and now Indiana with a chance. 7 seconds to go. Collison